All right, I'm here with Mike Evans. Hey, Mike, how you doing?
Hey, what's going on, Gary?
Not much. You finally, I guess, that's what we should have put on a poster. Finally, we got the fight with George Maybroda, and it's happening March 22nd at Harrah's Casino. We've been trying to make this fight, I believe, since February of 10th last year. It got postponed due to an injury to George, and then we moved it to April. He initially had his left hamstring pulled, then he pulled his right hamstring. It got pushed to July. That date didn't work out for anybody. And so here we are, March 22nd, Harrah's Casino. But it's much closer to you, both of you now, and this should be the ideal situation. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good. This whole situation now that it's closer in Harrah's and Philly is a little bit more ideal for me. So I'm definitely not complaining about that part. But I had no problem waiting on George for all of this. I know, now that we're both getting up in age, how these injuries, pop up. I've had a few of them before already. You know what I mean? So I wasn't gonna hold it against the guy. So I'm glad we're finally able to get this done.
Good. Yeah, me too. And how do you feel about it being in a casino now? I mean, originally Broadheadsville, that's a little banquet hall, but this is going to be huge.
Yeah, it sounds pretty dope to me. Like the whole venue, the event, everything that's going on, like even after our fight card, it all sounds awesome to me. I love it.
Yeah, very good. So what's training like for you? Balancing the school and your gym and everything. How does that all work?
Training is training. I put in a lot of work going into the last one. That was probably like the best I've ever looked was the first time we were getting ready for this. But now I got a lot more on my plate. I got another academy over in Westville. We partnered with the guys over in Sabai, and we got that going. And things are starting to get bigger over in Millville. So having to balance all of that out, it has been tough and trying to train for that. But I'm very fortunate in the fact that I have some of my students that are also competitors that are able to cover for me. They look out for me very well. Guys like MMA fighter Esteban Soto, Miguel Quiones, some of my fighters like Mel Green. They've been looking out for me, teaching these classes while I'm out getting this work done, so we can bring home that belt.
Good. That's the ideal situation, right? You got guys
Absolutely
that have your back. Yeah.
I'm blessed.
So, who are you actually training with for this fight? I mean, you always drop some pretty big names when it comes to that too.
Yes, I'm still getting some of my work in with Jimmy B52 Smith. We actually linked up recently. I'm training with Dave over in Sabai, getting a couple rounds with his guys over there, and splitting a lot of it with my students actually. Some of them are, got a lot of competition experience under their belt. They're good sparring partners. How to hold pads for me better than most. So it's a learning experience for me and them. Now they get to know what it feels like to be in my shoes. Having to deal with a fighter. Even when I'm tired, I don't feel like pushing. Now they got to feel what it likes to be me. You know what I mean?
Well, how do they feel with that role reversal where you're now the fighter and they're in that coaching position, and maybe they're not your coach, but they're holding the pads and they're doing the things that you would normally do?
I personally, I hope they're miserable. I hope this is hard as hell for them. But yeah, I think we're both enjoying the process, and I think, like I said, it's great for them because as a coach, I get to see how hard I'm actually pushing my guys when I demand certain things from them, when they're in the ring or the cage, so having to hop back in there gives me perspective as well too. So I'm sure it's doing the same for these guys, vice versa.
And we just had a senior title fight on our last card in Pottstown, Danny Inch. I say Dan's fight because he won the fight. He was the younger of the two in the senior fight. You're going to be the younger of the two in this senior fight. I mean, you're no spring chicken, but how old are you and how do you feel about the senior title position you're in?
I'm 40 years old. I'm fine with the whole senior thing. My last opponent that I got in the cage with was 25 years old. And I felt every bit of my age during that fight. No matter how long I've been doing it for, no matter what my skill was like, I definitely noticed a difference from where I'm at today and what I used to be. So getting in there with somebody like George, who's got enough skin in the game, that's been putting years into martial arts the way that I have, I still feel like we can get in there and put on a good show, no differently than these young guys. but I feel like it's more of a evenly matched fight. You know, I feel it's a little bit more fair that way.
How do you feel about your experience? Because, you know, looking at your record and George's record, you both have about the same amount of fights. But I mean,
Yeah.
I know in the MMA world that you fought Pat Brady, right? And he went on to have a phenomenal career, both in MMA and now in bare knuckle. So what did you learn from the Pat Brady fight specifically, and some of the fights that you've had in the past?
I got a great start in the beginning round of the fight with Pat Brady. You know, I wasn't afraid to go toe to toe with that guy. Everybody was terrified of him. He looked scary. I get it. You know what I mean? But what I got a little bit too comfortable thinking my striking was better than him. And I paid the price for it. You know, you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. And my prize was a broken face. You know, and you know, Pat definitely lit me up with an overhand right when I threw a switch kick and didn't follow up with it. Had my hands too low and had my jaw broken. Thank God I didn't get the lights put out, but the way my jaw was feeling, I wish I did. But you know, I felt like that fight kind of changed the trajectory of where I was trying to go at the time with martial arts. But you know, I feel like this opportunity that you're giving me now with the WKA, you know, lets me finish the way that I feel like I should have.
Very good, very good. So we do have the title fight March 22nd. It is going to be at Harrah's Casino, and you have some other things lined up beyond this, right? I mean, I work real close with Mike Bicking, so I know you have that.
My guy. Yeah, that's my guy, man. Mike's awesome. I got another fight, I believe 3 weeks after this, and I don't want anybody to think like, oh, I'm overlooking George at all. You know, going into this next fight. I'm actually more concerned about this title fight than I am that MMA fight, being honest with you. I just hope I come out of it healthy enough to even be able to step into a cage.
Right.
But I'm definitely looking forward to both of them. I just want to stay busy this year because my thing, Gary, is, you know, I'm getting up there in age, and I don't want to look back, you know, on my life when I'm actually really too old to do this, because I damn sure can't picture myself doing it at 50 like George is. And have a bunch of regrets, or woulda, coulda, shoulda, or like I could have been this, or I could have did that. I'm just gonna go ahead and get it over with.
That's awesome. That's awesome. How are your students getting behind you? Are they excited about this? Your gym members, or they pumped up for this?
Oh yeah. This is I'd say our second opportunity to bring back a title. You know, some of my students are killers in that ring or that cage on the match for these jiu-jitsu tournaments, but we've always just come up a little bit short for these title fights. And for us, it means a lot because we'll be able to bring back.
Is this an opportunity for you to show your students, hey, this is how it's done? Let's do this.
Let me show them how it's done.
Yeah.
They can't do it right. You got to do it yourself. You know what I mean?
Right. Very good. Well, it is, what is it? It's March 10th. So we're like 12 days away. How's your training going? And does your training change now within the last 2 weeks? Excuse me.
The type of training I'm doing hasn't changed. You know, I've always been working on my striking. Like I said, I've been putting a lot of work in with my students, and I've been bouncing around between different coaches. Like I said, Dave over at Sabai, B52 over in North Brunswick. I'm going to be linking up with Justin soon. You know, we put in a lot of hours before getting ready for this in the past. So, you know, nothing really changes. It's just punches and kicks at the end of the day. You know, a fight is a fight. But, you know, just being consistent with what I got going on, you know, staying sharp with my cardio, mobility drills, doing whatever I can to make sure I don't get injured leading up to it, stepping in that ring health.
Well, I'm excited about this fight because I know you pretty well, and I know George pretty well, and you know you're a little younger than me, he's a little older than me, so it's neat how this dynamic. But I'm also looking to get it over with because it's been going on for a year. Do you have that feeling?
I'm looking forward to that more than anything else, just being done with it. And I don't mean that in a bad way, but you know, I just feel like it's been a long time coming. You know, I'm pretty sure George has been studying the hell out of me, and I've been studying the hell out of him. So we pretty much know each other inside out. You know, so we might as well just get it done.
Very good. And Mike, the fight is 12 days away, March 22nd at Harrah's Casino. I look forward to seeing this fight in person. And I'm just going to give you the last word, and then we'll sign off and get this published.
Let's get it over with.
Let's get it over with. All right. I'll see you soon, Mike. Thank you.
All right. Have a good one, brother.